and welcome along to this UCAS International Podcast with me, Robbie James, and welcome along to another one of our Ask Me Anything episodes. In these episodes, we are deep diving into questions that you have submitted, so thank you very much indeed if you did submit us a question on studying in the UK. Today's episode focuses specifically on documents, visas, and scholarships. We're going to answer your questions with the help of Joe Paley from University of South Wales. Welcome to you, Joe, and also Alice Graham from University of Glasgow. Welcome to you, Alice. Lovely to have you both on the podcast. First question, let's come to you with this one, Alice. This is all about documents. So we're talking academic documents, disability-related documents, English language-related documents. When are they due, crucially?
Thanks, Robbie. These are one of these things where documents can be due at different points depending on the university. Here at the University of Glasgow, the main thing that I always say to applicants is to really read your offer letter. So that is where we're going to state any of those outstanding documents in terms of English language, academics that we are looking for, and we will state the dates that we need them by on those offer holder letters. But for example, when you're looking kind of towards accommodation, for example, we are making sure that you have submitted all of your documents by the 25th of August in order to move forward with your accommodation application. So to make sure that you're unconditional at that point. The majority of applicants should really check their offer letters just to make sure that they've got all of the up-to-date information in terms of those dates.
And I suppose that's the crucial thing, Joe. Dates could change and differ.
Yes, indeed. Dates can change throughout the intake, but there are also universities across the UK now operating multiple intakes at the same time. So it's very common now for universities to have a January, February intake, an April, May intake, as well as a traditional September intake. So keeping up to speed with the website is my main recommendation there.
Very good stuff. Hopefully that answers that question. Next up, we're going to come on to scholarships. Now, are there scholarships available for international students? Joe, you know what? We'll go the other way. We'll go to you for this one.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most common questions we get from inquirers and applicants at UK universities. Most universities will offer at least partial scholarships. I would advise paying a visit to the university that you're interested in, taking a look at their fees and funding page, perhaps their country pages, because some of these scholarships are bespoke to certain regions in the world. There are also external bodies as well, such as Chevening, Commonwealth. You've got the Great Scholarships, and in Wales, we've got the Global Wales Scholarships. So there are numerous options for students when looking at scholarships.
Do you want to come off the back of that, Alice? Are there anything specific maybe to Glasgow or to Scotland that people should consider regarding scholarships?
Yes, absolutely. And I think echoing what Joe said, it's very individual to each university of what they have to offer. But here at the University of Glasgow, we have a wide variety of international scholarships available for students. So the main one that we have for undergraduate students, for example, for international undergraduate students, is our World Changers Global Excellence Scholarship. This is a tuition fee discount and it's a merit-based scholarship. So we'd be looking at your predicted grades or the grades that you've already achieved. And basically it depends on what you're applying for. So it would be a £7,000 per year discount if you're applying to anything in our College of Arts and Humanities or our College of Social Sciences, or it could be a £10,000 per year tuition fee discount if you're applying for our College of Science and Engineering or our College of Medical, Veterinary and Life Sciences as well. Unfortunately, the one caveat I always have to make for these scholarships for undergraduate students is that our medicine, our dentistry and our veterinary medicine programmes aren't included in these scholarships. But the good news is that they're automatic, so there's no additional application that students need to do. And they are unlimited, so if you are achieving those higher grades, which we list on our website, you should be made an offer for that scholarship.
A wide range available. It's worth saying as well, there is a brand new shiny feature available via UCAS.com, which is a specific scholarship search filter. So you can loads of tools there to find a scholarship that may be of interest to you. That's all available at UCAS.com. Next question. This may be a tricky one to answer and may be very specific to certain universities and courses. Are there any scholarships or is there any funding help for countries which are currently experiencing conflict? Alice, we'll come to you first for that one. I know it is a bit of a tricky topic, but what would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit tricky. And as you mentioned, it can be different for each institution. At the University of Glasgow, what we do offer are sanctuary scholarships, which have been created to support applicants with either refugee or asylum seeker status who are currently living in the UK and hold an offer to study with us for 26-27 academic year. These scholarships are available for undergraduate and postgraduate students who hold an offer with us, and these would be a tuition fee waiver and a stipend towards living costs. Students do need to apply for these sanctuary scholarships, so once they have an offer from us, they'd be able to do so. But one of the major things I would say is always keep up to date with scholarships using kind of different websites, different university websites. We have a scholarship database, so if any further funding becomes available throughout the year, we'll always make sure to keep that section of the website up to date for students.
Anything to add there, Joe?
Yeah, I think it's imperative for students who are looking for these kind of scholarships to take a look at the UCAS website, take a look at UCAS. There's some public sector websites available in the UK that can give really detailed information and point you in the right direction here.
Again, I'll just direct people to that scholarship search filter. UCAS.com is where you can find out more there. Good stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Next question is, when should I start considering the visa process? Now, a reminder, of course, there is a full-length episode in the UCAS International Podcast feed where we talk all about things like visas because they can get quite complex. But let's come back to you with this one, Joe. When would you advise people to start considering that process?
I think there's nothing wrong with considering that visa process. As soon as you're interested in studying overseas, whether that's the UK or another country, having an understanding of the visa process can be really helpful early on. However, you are likely to really accelerate your engagement with the visa process once you're at unconditional offer stage and you're at deposit stage, because that's when you should be ready to undergo your visa application. Now, some universities will not, it's called a CAS document. A CAS document, CAS, is what allows you, confirmation of studies, that's what allows you to apply for a visa. It's only when you get that document that you can submit a visa application. But getting familiar with the process early on is super helpful. There are some students that look 6 to 12 months in advance of what the visa guidelines are. But certainly when you're at unconditional offer stage, interview stage, or deposit stage, that's when you'll start to accelerate your engagement.
And I suppose that the kind of caveat to that, Alice, is that these things can change. And that's sort of our next question is, how can you stay up to date with the visa changes, with the rule changes, which there can be a lot of? So I suppose what Joe's saying is absolutely spot on about, it's never too early to start looking at it. But I'm guessing you would caveat it by saying still keep up to date with it because things might change in that 12 months.
Yeah, absolutely, Robbie. And I think that's always what's going to come through is things can often change. So always keeping up to date, even if you've looked at it a few months in advance, making sure that you're rechecking around the visa rules. So the best places to keep up to date are really the UK government website. So they have a section on student visas, for example. And also the UCAS website is a really good place for you to keep up to date with any changes or rules that are coming through. Each university generally will have kind of a visas and immigration page on their website. So at the University of Glasgow, we have a dedicated international student support team. And as part of that, of their web pages, basically they have a visa and immigration section, which is kept up to date with any rule changes as well. So yeah, definitely, it's always good to look in advance, but to make sure that you're rechecking the closer you come to starting your studies in the UK.
You know what they say, half an hour of visa reading a day keeps the difficulty away. You both heard that, right? I've definitely not just made that up on the spot.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's my nighttime reading every night.
I thought it would be. Good stuff. Thank you very much. Great. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Alice and Joe, for being on the podcast. Hopefully that has answered some of the main questions surrounding documents, visas and scholarships. Don't forget, of course, there are some full-length podcasts available in the UCAS International Podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts, or, of course, on YouTube, and also loads more information, including that scholarship search, all available via ucas.com as well. We'll see you next time.